Hello friends, how are you all? Trust all of us are well. Diwali gone, Govardhan Puja gone, Vishkarma Puja gone, Bhai Dooj gone, and what are we left with? A fullness of sweet, sweet, sweet. As a result, two pieces of this, four pieces of that, a little of this, and a little of this. Too little to give to anybody, too much to have your own self because you're already full. Now, what to do? So, what I did was that I collected all this, two of this and that of that, put them together and changed the flavor, changed the texture, changed the feel, changed the taste, and brought out something very new, very different. What was that? How? What? Come, follow me to the kitchen and let me show you what I did with them. So friends, I have taken Desi Barfi Doda PGT is a very special mithai and coffee cookies and four pieces of each. That is what my leftover was. And I'm going to combine these with crushed cardamom, almond, raisins and cashews, almost 75 grams each. Now these are extra. You can take them, you may not, you can exit also. And coconut powder, that is 75 grams. And I'm going to blend them to a coarse mix in a blender. You can also use a pestle also, but I'm using a grinder this time, a food processor, and I'm going to mix it like grind it to a coarse mix. Now once done, there, and I'm going to crush the sweets and add it to the dry fruit blend. Now one by one I do that, and if your blender is small you can do it in batches, or like me, my blender was enough to take all of them, so I'm going to blend it once and for all, and I'm going to add crushed cardamom to it, and I'm going to blend again. Now there, that is what it looks like, and I'm going to add cinnamon, that's about 2 pinches or 2 grams, and this is and I'm going to add the balance of the sweets, that is the Desi Barfi, which is extremely good, and the Doda. This is the Doda part, the Doda Barfi. So once done, I'm going to crush it before I start. And slowly, once they have all been added, I'm going to blend. And I'm going to blend it into a fine mix. And this is what the mix is going to look like once it is done. Now blended, I move it to a bowl where I can mix it easily. Remember the coconut powder? Well, now I add the coconut powder and I'm going to mix it and mix it well. So this is what it is going to look like once it is done. And this is now our stuffing or the filling, which is absolutely ready. And now the second part, that is the dough. We're going to make the dough. For this I'm going to take all-purpose flour, that is 200 grams, and along with the dough I'm going to take aniseed, that is crushed aniseed, 15 grams, which I'm going to add to the flour. And before I do that, I'm going to make a small pit and I'm going to add melted clarified butter, that is 15 ml. That done, I'm going to add crushed aniseed like I had told you before. Now aniseed done, added, and I'm going to add natural salt, that is about half TSP. You can use any salt you want, but I use natural, as you all know. And I'm going to mix and mix well and start kneading. And the dough that I'm going to make is going to be like the dough for puri, and slowly by slowly I'm going to add warm water to it and keep mixing and keep kneading. Slowly the water is going to be added little by little. It must not be more than enough. Okay, so I've used about 60 ml of water, that is warm water. Always use warm water. And the dough done, I'm going to cover it and set it aside for 30 minutes. Now once done, after 30 minutes I'm going to remove, and in the meantime I'm going to start the shaping of the gujiyas. That is our third step. Now I remove and I'll knead the dough once again very lightly and cut it into equal size dough balls. So I'm going to get about 8 to 9 dough balls, and I'm going to make 8 to 9 gujiyas. So there, once you drop it from the height of 6 inches, they must hold their shape, and this is the sound that you get. So this means that your dough is perfect. It should be hard, not very hard, not very soft, exactly like that of a puri. Now grease the surface on which I'm going to roll the dough on. Once done, I'm going to roll and flatten the dough balls one after the other, one by one. And once it has been flattened completely round, I'm going to lay a generous amount of stuffing or filling. Let's make it generous. Let's not make it very little like lots of people do. But no, I'm going to have a generous amount of filling, because you must get the taste of the filling and not of the dough. I'm going to wet the sides. Once the sides are wet, so that will help to seal and shut firmly your gujia. Once done, let's make it doubly sure. And how do we make it doubly sure? I'm going to use a fork. Now there is a cutter available in the market also. You can use that also, but I am using it in the normal fashion, and I'm going to use a fork. So there, now your gujia is absolutely firmly stuck. Done. I'll move it to a plate or a tray. I'll complete all the others also. In the meantime, I remember there is another method of shutting it also, if you don't want to use a fork. That is the oriental method or the authentic method. So for that, we stick the sides as usual by wetting them with water, and then rolling the edges. There, that's how the edges have to be rolled and stuck. This ensures that your gujia is absolutely shut, and slowly as we proceed, the rolling ensures that it will not split open when we are going to fry them. So there, done, firmly shut. And again, as usual, this is the traditional method of sealing, by the way. And done, I move it. Now 4 I have already made. The rest also I will make, and I will fry them one after the other. There, done, 6 of them. This is the 7th. and a couple more to go. And when done, there we are. So that is also done. So one after the other we finish sealing all the gujiyas. We have shaped them. Gujiyas are ready to be fried. There, one more, so we have 8 of them. So that dough was enough for 8, but the filling was much more. Let me show you the filling now. Now this is the balance, and this balance stuffing I am going to be making another dish out of this, which I am going to show you in my next video. This I am going to preserve for the next dish. And number 4, frying of the gujiyas. So as usual, let's light the flame. And I am using a kadai. You can use a deep fry pan also, or a skillet, or a wok. The bottom should be deep enough so that when the medium, whichever you opt for, I am using clarified butter. Being a Punjabi, clarified butter is always best. And in the meantime, I am going to line one tray or a plate with paper napkin, and this is an acid test for me that the recipe is right and the gujiyas will not be soaking in medium. Now there, as usual, the test pilot to check if the temperature is right and if my dough recipe is correct. Now, the test pilot must not absorb any medium. It should not be greasy, it should not be oily. And there you are. It is absolutely crisp, well cooked, crisp, non-oily. So let's get ahead with the gujiyas. The temperature is right and the recipe is right. So one by one, because I'm not using too much of medium. So my kadai is going to take only one gujiya at a time. So I'm using one by one. I'll be frying them. But if your kadai or vessel is bigger, you can go for small batches and maybe a few together also, and flip the sides as we go along so that both the sides are cooked evenly. Now don't flip often also, just flip as it is required, not often. Let the sides cook well. Too much of flipping can also give you unfried or underfried food. So there, remember the Dadi Nani trick, how to drain the medium without wasting it. So there you are, absolutely non-greasy, crisp and well cooked. The result speaks for itself. So yeah, so the temperature is right, everything is right, the recipe is right, the dough is right, and there you are, one after the other. There, beautiful, isn't it? Feel like hogging right now? Wait, let's finish the others also. So let's continue and fry the rest of the gujiyas. There you are, one after the other, the same result. As you see, same crispiness, same non-oiliness, and medium hardly soaked by the gujiyas. So that is what is required to keep it light. Now, all done. Now I'll show you. Look at this. Look at the paper napkin. Hardly any medium has been soaked by them. They're almost clean. Almost. There you are, non-oily gujiyas. Serve them with tea or coffee, as all of us enjoy, or as I do, with honey, rabdi, firni, kheer, or with vanilla ice cream. I have done that also. And serve and enjoy with all your known, unknown, near, dear, loved, hated, cared, adored relatives, relations, friends, foes, and above all, your enemies too. That's most important. Your enemies also. Well, friends, how are the gujiyas? I'm sure you have lots of sweets lying around on your pantry shelf, and I'm sure you're wanting to make them. So, why wait? Go, rush, make them, and treat everybody. And as I always say, to live healthy, cook healthy, and eat healthy.